With us today on KRTV.
Our top story, Corey Stapleton, a former state senator and Great Falls native, is now a candidate for U.S. Senate.
Stapleton announced on his website he is seeking the seat currently held by Senator Max Baucus. Stapleton served in the state Senate from 2000 to 2008. During his Senate terms, he served as the majority whip and the minority leader. His most recent venture into politics was an unsuccessful run for governor in 2012. Stapleton says his supporters are not happy with the course our country is taking.
Coming out of World War II and all of the potential we have, how could we be in 50 or 60 years to be in this mess, where we're just a generation away from ceding the #1 superpower to China, that we're $16 trillion in debt, that we're justifying putting able-bodied adults on welfare because we can. You know, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean, we really need to retain the quality of life that made America great. So.
Stapleton is a Great Falls High graduate and Navy veteran who currently works as a financial advisor in Billings. He's the first candidate to formally challenge Baucus. Missoula Republican Representative Champ Edmonds is also considering a run for Baucus's seat.
In an effort to pull itself out of debt, the U.S. Postal Service will shut its Saturday delivery service off nationwide beginning the week of August 5th. The move, approved by U.S. postal attorneys, is an attempt to keep the nation's government postal service solvent. For 150 years, the post office has delivered mail 6 days a week. While the effects won't truly be known until the Saturday delivery ends, it's expected to cut down on some expenses for the struggling agency.
We'll go to a schedule where folks will get their regular mail Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays the only thing we'll be delivering are packages or we'll deliver mail to post office boxes. So if you've got a box in the post office somewhere, nothing's going to change for you.
Nowacki says surveys show about 70% of Americans think this is a better way to deal with debt than closing post offices in rural communities. The Postal Service reports more than $41 billion in losses over the last 6 years.
A trial date is set for the Great Falls man accused of killing a toddler back in July of 2011. If he does not enter a plea agreement first, Charles CADWELL will go to trial this June for the deliberate homicide of 1-year-old Kira Holbert. The defense says the trial is so delayed because the court was waiting on expert analysis of CADWELL's psychological state. Court documents say CADWELL admitted to shaking the victim, who was his girlfriend's daughter, while she was in his care.
A man involved in a standoff last March changed his plea this morning. Michael Waycott originally faced 2 counts of obstructing a peace officer and 1 count of criminal endangerment. He pleaded guilty to criminal endangerment, so the other 2 charges were dropped. Last March, Waycott initiated a 17-hour standoff with Great Falls police. Court documents say the standoff stemmed from Waycott getting into an argument with his daughter about her ex-husband. He'll be sentenced next month.
And finally, from the courtroom, a 47-year-old Vaughn man makes his initial appearance on charges of incest and tampering with a witness. Court documents say David Damon had sex with 2 young relatives. The crimes against one of the victims stretched over a span of 18 months. The most recent incident was last May. Detectives reportedly found Facebook conversations confirming Damon's inappropriate relationship with his relatives. Judge Pinsky set bail at $100,000.
A Great Falls senator is bringing Facebook usage front and center at the state capitol.
MTN's Marnie Banks takes us inside the debate over whether or not your boss should be able to gain access to your social media account.
A group of University of Montana law students have drafted a bill which aims to protect people from having their personal Facebook information made available to their employer. Senator Anders Blewett of Great Falls is carrying Senate Bill 195, which prohibits companies from requiring an employee or an applicant to turn over access to personal Facebook, email, and other social media accounts. Supporters of the bill say it protects all Montanans' right to privacy.
Imagine if your boss asked for the keys to your home. It would be like opening the door, going through your drawers, thumbing through your photo albums. That's what this bill seeks to prevent.
The bill came about after the city of Bozeman required applicants to turn over their usernames and passwords to their social media accounts as part of the hiring process. Blewett says this is a blatant disregard of privacy, and he wants to prevent that from ever happening again. However, a handful of employers, including the Montana Chamber, oppose the bill, saying businesses may need this personal information to investigate employee misconduct.
to be perfectly frank, employers are it's legitimate that they are able to look at their employees' activities on work computers. The statute's way too broadly written and creates a huge liability concern for employers when they are quite properly trying to monitor their employees' use of company materials on company time.
Supporters of the bill say this is no justification for employers to demand access to private information. At the Capitol, Marnay Banks, MTN News.
Governor Steve Bullock's plan to cut taxes on Montana businesses received a hearing today. Bullock's bill would entirely eliminate the business equipment tax on companies with less than $100,000 worth of equipment. The tax is paid on items like construction vehicles, machinery, mining equipment, tools, and furniture. Current law says businesses with less than $20,000 of equipment are exempt, while businesses with equipment valued between $20,000 and $3 million are taxed at 1.5%, and any equipment over $3 million is taxed at 3%. Republican Senator Bruce Tutvet also has a plan to reduce the business equipment tax. His bill would raise the threshold so businesses with equipment valued at less than $10 million would be taxed at 1.5%, while those above that threshold would pay 3%.
The homeless population in Great Falls has more than quadrupled in a year. That's according to the Montana Homeless Survey. So now community leaders are working to prevent even more growth.
KRTV's Jen Fenter has the story on a program that's trying to create real change out of mere pennies.
There is some positive things we can do.
As an owner of a downtown business, Allison Freed has seen the effects of panhandling for years and is excited to be a part of a new solution.
Here's our chance to think about it in a positive way, know that there is resources that these people could go to, and we want to support those resources and those organizations that exist already. That helps the problem.
Coins for a Cause is replicated from similar programs that are successful in Billings and Missoula, and organizers are optimistic about the implementation in the Electric City.
Raises a fair amount of money. It makes people more aware of what options are out there for people that are homeless or in need of food or shelter, and it gives them a different way to approach it.
These jars are placed in various downtown businesses hoping to collect people's spare change. Now these funds are then donated to local organizations that can provide resources to those in need.
We're thinking that that'll help with more than just their basic needs. It'll help them, set up a plan for how they're going to fix their situation.
Coins for a Cause is hoping to inspire a long-term change for the growing population of homeless. In 2010, 162 individuals reported being homeless, and in 2011, the Montana Homeless Survey shows a dramatic increase, surpassing 650, and it's expected to keep going up.
We're now seeing, a new generation of homeless men with children. We're seeing larger amounts of families who are in homeless. We're seeing an increase in just about every variety of homeless on the streets.
Jennings says there are a number of factors that contribute to becoming homeless, but by making the resources more accessible, they're hoping to see a change, which is good news for the community and area businesses.
This is your chance to say, you know what, I know there's resources for you, and by me giving you money, that doesn't help you reach out to those resources.
Proceeds from the first year will be given to the Great Falls Rescue Mission. In Great Falls, Jen Fenter, MTN News.
We had the sunshine today, but it didn't feel as warm.
Mike, just how warm did we get?
Managed to climb into the mid and upper 40s for a very brief time, but it was the cooler temperatures combined with the wind that made it feel cooler. 42 right now in Great Falls. It's 38 in Lewistown, 38 also there in Hayes and Cutbank, one better at 39. The winds have been whipping here out of the west today, around 20 to 25 miles per hour along I-15. Lighter winds up on the High Line from Havre, Malta over toward Glasgow, where we barely have a breeze going there in Phillips and Valley counties. We have seen quite a bit of cloud cover, some high clouds filtering the sunshine, but they are thinning out here toward the east. Still some snow, though, flying in the mountains of western Montana. This evening in Great Falls, cooling down quickly, down to 35 degrees by 7 p.m., and will drop below freezing pretty quickly with scattered clouds. Chilly but brisk tonight. You will feel a difference tomorrow morning. We'll look at just how cool it's going to get and a look at the next opportunity for snow. That's coming up in Storm Tracker weather.